Hello, and welcome to another episode of Cooking from Quarantine. Still, more, and again. Today we are going to be making a spin on a classic Italian pasta dish, which is usually broccoli rabe, sausage, and Orichette or Orichette pasta. But we're using A, what we have in the house, and B, things that we like to eat, so I'm changing it up a little bit. I have this enormous bag of Barilla pasta that I have to get through. And actually, as I'm saying it, I'm reminded that I have it cooking and I haven't stirred it. It's already boiling. Yeah, I have to get through all of this pasta somehow, so we're using that instead of Orichette. Broccoli rabe is a very sophisticated product and bitter, and you have to really know how to cook it and bring out the best flavors of it. I don't, so I'm using spinach, which is super easy to handle, really good for you, and actually a perfect replacement for the green leafies of broccoli rabe. I'm also using I've taken them out of their casing and chopped it up a little bit. 2 raw sweet sausage and 2 raw hot Italian sausage for a total of 4. Half of a Vidalia onion diced up. 4 cloves of garlic, all minced and tiny and lovely. And salt and pepper, baby. And our favorite olive oil Jones, which I have like only the dregs of left and will hopefully get me through this dish. So we already have our pasta in salted water on the stove cooking up, and now I'll meet you over there as we put this whole dish together. So we have our pasta cooking up. We want to cook this pasta just to al dente, which is Italian for to the tooth. It just has like that little bit of density still in it. Let's fire up a medium-high heat under a whatever pan you have that gets very hot. This would be a good recipe for a cast iron pan. I'm using this one. You know, do what makes you happy. Use the pan that gets hot. Really stretching this olive oil out. Okay, so I'm using pork sausage, but you know, if you would rather have turkey or chicken sausage, you know, whatever you have, whatever you like. Again, like we're kind of making this dish up as we go along, so don't worry about being so precise, because, you know, I'm not being terribly precise. Okay. Let's find my rubber spatula, which I absolutely love, from the kind people at Le Creuset. We're putting our onions and garlic into the warm oil. Don't put it into burning hot oil or you will scorch your veggies. Whoop. Lost a little to the cause. It's perfectly fine. And we're not trying to kind of cook the onions and garlic at this point. We're really just sweating them out so that their flavor comes alive and pretty. Going to add just a little bit of salt. Don't over salt this dish. The sausage that you're going to be using, remember, has already been seasoned. So, you know, let's not get crazy with our seasoning. The other thing is you should season your food as you go. Not season, well, yes, you should season your food as you go, but you should taste your food as you go, which home cooks, and I'm guilty of this as well, home cooks don't really do enough. We eyeball everything because we kind of have our recipes down, and we don't focus on tasting the food as we go and we do it more by sight and by feel and by experience instead of by taste. But real chefs do it by taste, and that's why their food is so good. Okay, so we have our onions and garlic just starting to get that kind of cloudy, milky color. They're not browned or anything like that. We're just getting to them to the point. If I could work this. Here we go. Now we're going to add in our sausage. The idea with this sausage, and again we're using half hot, half sweet, is that we actually do want to break it down into little crumbly bits. We don't want it to be like giant meatballs in our pan. We want it to be smaller than that, so that when you take a bite of food, you have a little sausage, a little pasta, a little spinach, all together. I also probably should have mentioned, and I'll take it out of my fridge now. Here, why don't you walk with me to my fridge? Because on cooking shows, I always really like when you get to see the inside of people's fridges. This is my fridge. See, I'm a Tupperware queen, like my mother. So this is lots of foods I've already cooked, but here we go. This is Grana Padano cheese. That's my lemonade that I cooked. This is Grana Padano cheese, which is sort of like a pecorino, sort of like a Parmesan, but nuttier, like me. And we're going to be using that in this dish as well. Okay, back to what we were cooking. Let's make sure our pasta is not overcooking. It's looking like it's almost there. That's pretty perfect. Okay, so I had wanted to just strain the pasta right into my sausage and onion concoction, but I didn't time it correctly. Let me actually turn the flame off of my pasta. So the reason I had wanted to put it directly into the pan is so that I could use some of the pasta water from my pasta to thicken the kind of sauce that we're making. So instead, before I drain my pasta, which I do have to do momentarily because I don't want it to overcook, I'm grabbing a cup of pasta water out and just leaving it beside everything so that I can use it when I want it and I don't have to keep overcooking my pasta. So that's a nice little trick to just save a little as you go. What I did not do is I did not take out my colander, but I didn't take out my colander, and actually I think it's in the dishwasher. So again, we're improvising. I'm using my slotted spoon to take all of this pasta out. Make sure we don't burn our onions as we go. I'll show you what's going on in our pan so far. Basically, you'll know to add the spinach and actually the pasta once everything starts to brown, because you're not trying to cook the spinach or the pasta. Spinach wilts as soon as it gets warm, so you don't have to worry about cooking the spinach. And the pasta we've already cooked, so you're not looking to cook that, you're just looking to kind of finish it in all of the same yummy flavors as the rest of this food. Okay, wow, this is a lot of pasta that I made. I got a little overly ambitious. It happens. But you know what, we're in quarantine and pasta is indeed a comfort food, so let's make sure we always keep breaking up these pieces of sausage as we go. Just keep trying to get it brown. That's the name of the game. We're also we did salt it, but we haven't peppered it yet. If I can find them right here. I'm actually using crushed red pepper flakes, which if you don't have in the house, that's totally fine. You can use regular black pepper, totally works. Probably about a half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. Don't worry about all the little bits. Whoop! We lost a little sausage. Let's grab you and put you back in the bath. Okay. Don't worry about scraping up all the little bits just yet. When we put the pasta water into our sauté pan, it will pick up the fond that is chilling out at the bottom of the pan. It smells so good. You can really start smelling the sausage. All of the onions are getting nice and caramelized. Those red pepper flakes are adding really nice heat. Okay, let's keep draining our pasta, which is, like I said, a kind of weird order of doing things, but you know, it doesn't always work out perfectly. Now I really don't want to add the pasta water to this, and I'm trying to not cut away so I can show you how long it's actually taking to brown all of this meat. Because it was only about a pound of sausage. 4 sausage lengths is about a pound. It was only about a pound of sausage, but it doesn't matter. It takes a while for things to brown correctly, and if I add pasta water to it now, it's really just going to start boiling, and that's not ideal. It's not what we're looking for. I made so much pasta, I'm actually only going to, I think, add half of it to this dish, and I'll save the other half for, like, I don't know, macaroni salad, or I don't even know what. But, you know, we're eating all of our meals at home, so no ordering in this week. We got food in the house, as all of our mothers used to tell us on the way home from, well, for me it was Hebrew school, but I don't know, maybe some of you were more physically adept and had those conversations coming home from soccer practice, but we had no such thing. Okay, show you. Now we're starting to see the brown colors that we're looking for. Everything getting a little golden and cooked through, because we do want to make sure we're cooking the sausage all the way through. No raw pork, please, or chicken if that's your jam. You know, let's not get poisoned during quarantine. That would be ideal. Okay, so to this, we're adding in, well, first let's add in our pasta water, which, remember, has also been salted. That's about half the cup. Start trying to scrape up all the little brown bits. And since pasta water has the starch from the pasta in it, it's actually going to start thickening this sauce as we go. So that's a little added bonus. And, you know, add the things you like. If you want to add a little white wine to this, couldn't hurt, right? So I would do that, but I used white wine in a dish earlier today, and I'm a little, like, white wined out. So let the pasta water reduce down a little bit. Grabbing a noodle. And remember, the pasta water is salted. So, like, if it seems like we're undersalting this dish, believe me, we're not. See how this sauce is starting to thicken up a little bit? That's the beauty, the magic of saving your pasta water. We didn't add any thickener to this. Didn't add butter, didn't add flour. This is just how we roll with our pasta water. Okay. Okay, now that that's cooking down a bit, let's add our spinach. Spinach cooks down so much that, like, all of this spinach may count for, like, no spinach by the time it's wilted. So I have 2 boxes of this ready to go, and it's been triple washed, so you can plop it right in. You're cooking off anything that's hanging around in there. So let's see. We're kind of, well, we lost a few leaves, didn't we? Lost to the cause. Okay, let's see if we have any spinach left once this cooks down. I like a very spinachy dish. It makes me feel like I'm really eating my veggies, so I'll probably add more. Yeah, I'm definitely going to add more. I'll show you This is already starting to cook down to almost nothing. Yeah. And remember, spinach is a very watery kind of veggie also, so that's another reason we didn't immediately pour the entire thing of pasta water into this, because like there's gonna be a watery situation going on no matter what. Okay, that was most of the second box. I'll probably use whatever's left over in there for like base of a salad. Okay, here we go. God, this smells so great. And again, we're going to just let this cook and wilt so that the spinach releases all of its juices, which just kind of adds to the bath, you know? It adds to what's making the sauce for this pasta dish. Beautiful coloring. Okay, and since almost all of our spinach is now cooked down, we're going to add, yeah, I really overdid it on the pasta. We're going to add half our pasta into our pan. Stir it up. Get everything nice and mixed together and keeping company and happy. Plop this guy back in here because he tried to escape. No escaping. We leave no man behind. Okay, and here's what's going on in our dish. Really lovely, really, really beautiful. Okay, and now we're going to turn the heat off of our pasta. We're going to grab any kind of grater or microplane or whatever you like to use. I like this with the kind of medium-sized holes. You can buy pre-shredded cheese, obviously. You know, it's like your right as an American, but like, why? Does it save you time? Not really. And fresh grated, oh, wrong tool. Fresh grated is like way better. So while it's still on the heat, not heat, but while it's still kind of in the pan and hot, we turn the heat off of our dish. Gonna get as much as you like. I like a lot. And we're going to mix this in, and then we're still going to, right before we serve it, we're going to do another grating over it. There we go. It's probably about a quarter cup. It just tastes so much better when it's freshly, you know, it smells and tastes like what it's supposed to be, which I know is like a very kind of pretentious thing to say, like, oh, you should only use fresh. I mean, I'm all for making stuff that's quick, but like in this case, I don't think you really buy yourself much time by getting the pre-shredded stuff, and this stuff tastes so much better. It's like, why not? Okay, and you see, so we just by mixing all of the cheese in, again, it thickens the sauce that's in the dish. You can't even see it anymore. It's all kind of melted in. So all those flavors are nice and integrated together. And I will meet you back at the counter and show you what this looks like when we actually go to serve it. Okay, so we've made ourselves a little bowl of our pasta. Before we serve ourselves, let's just grab a little bit more shredded cheese. Shredding our own cheese. Let's do a little taste test. Grabbing a piece of spinach and sausage and pasta all in one bite. so flavorful. The mixture of the hot and sweet sausage is really lovely, and you can feel the red pepper flakes just kind of like on the back of the tongue heat. The spinach holds up really well in this recipe. I think better than broccoli rabe actually, because it's easier to eat. Perfect little Italian pasta dish. Hope you're enjoying your quarantine. Nobody's enjoying their quarantine, but at least we can learn how to cook interesting dishes during this crazy time. Be safe, be well. See you next time.